So like I said, I'm just glad that the truth is finally coming to the light, and that all of these false healers are being called out, and, that what's being dark is coming to the light, because, these people need healing. Okay. They are mentally ill themselves. Okay. To be a habitual, pathological, compulsive liar to the point where when faced with receipts or the lack thereof, you continue to double down on the lie. This is the perfect example of, a person being a lie and the truth ain't in them. Okay. Because when we talk about, the truth ain't in you, we're talking about the spirit of the living God. Okay. This is why, anyone who is carrying the spirit of our compassionate creator is referred to as the living word, because you are the word made flesh. Okay. And when you do not have that spirit within you, the truth ain't in you, because the truth literally is the spirit of God. Okay. And when you are a chosen vessel of the most low, you literally cannot tell the truth, because it can't come out of you unless it's in you. Okay. And this is very literal that I'm speaking of. Okay. And so these people are proving this. Okay. Just look at what's happening with the president on down. Okay. This is a particular personality type. Okay. This is the tares in the Bible. Okay. Like I said, God told his people the gardeners to put the good wheat in the barn, because he's going to use those are God's good people. That's us. If you have been in isolation, welcome to the barn. Okay. God is ready to use you now. And the tares, they are waiting for the great fire that I dreamt of. Okay. In which, there had been a war, and I don't know what happened in the war. All I know is that the earth was on fire, and we were in a spaceship, and I was floating up over it, looking down on it and seeing those people burning eternally. They weren't even perishing in the fire. They were burning and screaming and going crazy because they could not disconnect from the earth like we did. We rose up off of it in a ship. They continued to burn, and we went out into space, and it was the most peaceful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And another planet loomed into view, and God told me that planet was bigger than the earth, but it looked like the earth, but it had a glow around it. And that's the thing that stood out to me about it, because that glow indicated to me purity. It indicated to me, a fresh start. Okay. It indicated to me a no narc network. I knew that the air was clean. The water was pure. Everything was fresh and new and untouched by man, and that it would not be corrupted, because no corrupted hearts were going. Everybody that was on that ship was just like me, God's people. Okay. And that to me was the promised land. And that to me was a promise. Okay. I talked directly to God. Okay. And God told me that was not just a dream, that it was a memory and a prophecy, that it has happened before and it will happen again. Okay. And the reason why it will happen again is because people run out of time. Time does not last forever. It is a construct. Okay. And it's like the game. It's like having the game on, and at some point that game is going to get turned off. So while the game is on, you need to be trying to be in the position to be a winner. Okay. And if you weren't in that position, then you go off when the game goes off. Okay. You become part of the game. You're an NPC. Okay. And so when you're not part of the game, then you going on back to reality. Okay. You leave the simulation. Okay. And so, these people have become an NPC. They are written into the game. And this is why they cannot align with the truth. They cannot speak the truth, because the truth ain't in them. They really, the only thing they have, because if they speak the truth, their whole, to them, they will perish, because their whole identity, because let's not forget, a narcissist is a person whose ego has consumed them. They believe that they are this lie that they have told. They believe that they are this false character that they have created. So when you begin to unravel that, they feel as if you're coming for their very life. And this is why they respond so disproportionately, okay, to someone challenging their illusion that they've created, challenging their delusions that they believe, okay? And so, you know, I've been teaching about this for going on 9 years now. And like I said, I started it out with an ego series, okay? And my motto for these whole 9 years has been that the ego will get you effed up 100% of the time, okay? Why? Because the ego is not your friend, okay? It is like the little angel and devil on the shoulder convincing you to do which one you're going to listen to. And if you decided to listen to that devil, when he gets done using you, okay, to make a fool of you, he will vacate the premises and leave you sitting there in the spotlight like a deer in headlights, okay? This is the same thing that happens when a man is possessed, okay? And he goes into a narcissistic rage. You done beat up your wife and your children and tore up the whole house, okay? And you now, the devil has left after you done let him come in and you know, do everything he wanted to do. And now you're sitting there like, I don't know what came over me. What came over you was that devil, that demonic spirit that's within you. That's what came over you. And it came in and it hurt your wife. It hurt your children. And they be sitting there like they don't even remember it happening. You know what I'm saying? And they maybe they don't. But the fact is that they are possessed. Okay. And so it's like they don't know what came over them. But your wife is bloody and your kids is cowering in the corner and the police on the way. Okay, because that's what happens when the devil, you listen to that devil. That devil wasn't your friend. He was going to use you and cause you to self-destruct at the end of the day. Okay, and so it's like that's what you see happening now with Dr. Cheryl Bryant. It's going to happen with Yizzreal. It's going to happen with a lot of people who have built this false reality because it's not real. Okay, and at the end of the day, the yin yang symbol is flipping. Okay, yin yang represents truth and illusion. Okay, both are necessary in order for this experience here to be had within this simulation, but only one is real. Let me repeat it. Okay, both are necessary, truth and illusion. That's what yin yang is, truth and illusion. Both are necessary for this reality to be experienced, but only one is real. Okay, and so what you are experiencing is the dissolution of that which is not real. Okay, and it looks like a Cheryl Bryant. It looks like a Yizzreal, who I call fake real. Okay, it looks like the president. Okay, being unhinged. Okay, it looks like everything that's playing out on the world stage. Okay, files being released and discussed and exposed, and you know, people think that they won't be held accountable, but like I said, I've already seen how it ends. The whole planet was on fire. God told the gardeners to bundle up the tares because I'm going to burn that. I'm going to burn those, okay? At the time of the harvest, I'm going to separate them. The reason he didn't separate them before was because they had entangled themselves around your roots and were feeding from you as your friends and family. And as you grew strong enough, okay, to realize that you could live without them, then God allowed you to separate from those people because now you're strong enough. If he had done it to you at a younger age, you would not have understood, and it would have been more damage to you than it would have helped. Okay, and that's why he told the gardeners to wait until the time of the harvest, because now you're strong enough, chosen one, to be separated from those people that you don't, that don't align with you and your highest self, and they are going to burn, okay? And God is going to use you to create the new earth whose name is Gloria, the sister of Gaia, Gloria, because she has a glow around her. How do I know? Because I saw that, okay? And that's my word. And I hope that what I'm saying is resonating with you guys. And just continue to watch what's playing out on the world stage, because at the end of the day, all will be as it should be. Okay, everything has been out of balance for a long time. So as it's coming back into balance, it feels a little weird and wobbly, but at the end of the day, we all gonna be all right. Okay, talk to y'all later.